Testing, testing. Hello, happy holidays or whatever. This is my first time starting or first video on this new channel about stuff. What the hell is this? Abstract architecture paintings with tape. It's called abstract architecture. There's also roller coasters that are weird. Over here I'm going to show you some stuff while I talk about this, but this is just an intro. What I'm going to do is paint stuff on camera that I think anybody can do with products from the dollar store, you know? All of this is the cheapest stuff you can get. These are $1.50. That's a Tupperware. I don't know, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do this. I want to either help people learn to paint any kind of painting. I want to help people learn the power of this. People who don't even want to paint but like to watch. You can watch me do this. But I will talk and explain the way I've been doing this since I was about 10. And I actually learned the power of this as a 10-year-old at an art class that I took like once with my mom. But I'll never forget the power of seeing an edge when I ripped this off the canvas. And I was like, oh my God, the paint is straight. How did it? So that stuck with me forever. So what is this channel? Me doing that with 30 plus years of practice, talking about why certain methods are applied, how it's done, and if you want to do it, you know, you can follow my instruction. If you don't want to do it, you can just watch, and let's paint together. All right, so as you can see, I have an assortment of colors: white. Oh, hello. Primaries. I got some tape. I can do a little loop-de-loop around the thumb and fingers there. The colors are primary, but also like some orange, white, a little Prussian blue, I guess, and some green. Okay, so I'm applying the tape here with a dry brush. Make sure it's dry. You don't want the paint to bleed under the tape because that's very annoying and it'll cause problems later. So keep the brush dry. See how often I'm doing that? Show the camera. Notice the shape of the created by the tape. It's big and open. Angles are not too acute. They're not too sharp. Doing something with my hands. And we're taking tape off. Nice and slowly pull towards the tape. Do a little scrunchy with your fingers because it feels good. Scrunchy, scrunchy. Pull it all off. Toss it. See you later. Magic. So now I'm taking 2 sides at a time once I have the middle done, and you have to let this stuff dry, but if you're using acrylics, well, I am using water here, but that's just to clean the brush. So then I go back to this and I'm drying it intensely. See, I'm even wiping it off on the paper just to keep it dry. But yeah, you want to let the middle dry. With acrylic, if you're applying it pretty generously but not too crazy, it'll dry in a few minutes. So you can put tape. You'll know it's dry if you can put tape on it and it sticks. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a bit. Some people use a blow dryer. But if you wait 10 minutes, it should be fine. So I'm applying another section here. You can see I'm kind of using white by the edge to create a contrast with the blue. Yeah, it's important, and I'll be doing that more and more as we go. And right now, when just a little bit bleeds underneath, I take a brush just to fix the line a little bit. You will probably see that if you're doing it at home. Sometimes the tape, it'll get underneath. You want to kind of quickly, while it's still wet, you want to take a completely different brush that has no paint on it, maybe a tiny bit of water, and just sort of do your best to make a straight line on the edge. See how that white nicely contrasts the blue there? It's already giving a bit of cubism, right? So taking the next edge, I'm going to do completely new colors to contrast. So this red and yellow is kind of the first time we see it. So that's automatically going to contrast with the other colors that are there already. In painting the edges is something I like to do for an all-around canvas feel. It's nice if you have the edge painted, I find. See that red is really popping with the light turquoise there, and then the purple next to it. So I'm creating a section here on the other side. Notice how I'm keeping these sections is quite big. It gives a really bold finished product, and I really try to avoid small. Oh, hello, paint, deep red. Thanks for sharing that. Bright red and deep red. Okay, cool, thanks. Mixes well with yellow. Paint the edge again. So yeah, these are pretty big sections, right? I mean, it's taken up like 30, 35, 40% of the canvas. But that's on purpose. From a lot of practice, I try to really avoid doing small ones for a few reasons. I have one little small triangle that I'll do in this painting, but I know that I have a plan for it, which I'll show later in the part 2 of this video, which is actually the next video, but it's part 2 of this painting. So in this first part, I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be filling in the canvas with these geometrical large shapes, but then the second part of the next video will be the same painting, but I'll be adding roller coaster movement, rungs and stuff, and I'll have that linked in the description below after I finish that. So as you can see, I'm still doing the edge here, trying to not get the table messy. Probably would have been better to put a sheet underneath, but I'm for the most part pretty clean. That's just from practice. If I was doing this as a beginner, I'd probably want a tablecloth underneath that I could wash afterwards. So we're getting near to the end now. About 5 sections left, maybe. Depends. I think. See that little triangle that I'm doing right there? Normally I would avoid that, but I have a purpose for that little guy, so I'll show you that later. Notice how I'm still painting the sides everywhere, so by the time I'm done the canvas on the front, I'm also done on the sides. Don't have to come back to it later. Don't have to get all those paints out again. I've already connected the edge to the front. Alright. Testing, 5, 6, whatever, 8, 9, 2, 4. So, okay, so I'm in the way. Let's go right here. So this style of mine does weird stuff, right? I did this 20 years ago, but it was not right away that I got to this stage of whatever, right? In the last few hours, I just did this on camera. What's the point? I'm going to show or teach or whatever you want to watch, you want to learn how to do this, or what I'm thinking when it goes through this, right? So this one's a circular one. It's a bit of a different style, but like here's a more similar or more, you know, it was more representative of what that one was. Let's just say this is a bit more like that, right? And there's Eddie Vedder flying off a bunch of stuff there. But whatever, what's the point? I just did this. I'm gonna kind of make the first video of that. But I'm gonna do a part 2. And the part 2 is go from here into a bunch of what I call like roller coaster rungs, right? Moving around, dipsy doodling, but that's not the point. Like, I could just show it. Why make a video? The point is, I want to, for the first time, talk through how I see these things or decide upon doing them, because you can make a lot of decisions in this type of painting, abstract painting, but you can make mistakes. I made enough mistakes to know what's better proportional wise, getting that proportionality and making a cooler looking painting than something that has like something janky that you wish you could erase. Because it's a painting, you can't really do that. It's not Photoshop. So I'm gonna kind of do this, even though that one's old, from this in the next one. Let's see what happens.